Hey everyone, welcome to Gorge Views. We got another episode for you today with a special guest in the studio, and it is Proctor of Rainbow Air. For those that don't know, Rainbow Air is the helicopter attraction here in Niagara Falls. Gives you a great bird's eye view of it. Pat, how long have you guys been operating here in Niagara Falls?
This was our 25th season. It's 1995, July 1st. My dad and my uncle started the company back in 1995. Just actually as a side gig business. I don't know what their intentions were or what their long-term goals were, but they made it for 24 years. They recently sold the company last October. But the name stayed the same. I stayed on for the transition, and 25 years later, we're still here. But obviously, you know just as well as all other tour companies, this was a very different year.
Yeah, COVID definitely made it different and difficult, and hopefully it's the first and last year of that. Now, you guys, I heard you guys a lot. Obviously, you're really close to me, so I don't hear you inside, but I hear you outside.
Yeah.
And you seem to be humming along throughout the years.
We had a great recovery. Normally we open in, this year we were going to open March 26th, probably one of our earliest ever openings, due to the fact there was no ice on the lake or river, and May the Mist actually was going to do the same thing, so we kind of want to do the same as them, just to, we know people are going to be here no matter what if the May the Mist is in the water. So normally, historically speaking, we go from the first weekend in April to the week before Thanksgiving in November. So it was tough this year starting in July. You miss Mother's Day, you miss Father's Day, you miss Memorial Day.
Right.
Those are big chunks of business operational days that pay the bills in the off season. Kind of what we're looking forward to right now is the off season. But
I always refer to Memorial Day as Black Monday,
the unofficial kickoff to the summer.
That's when you go into winter and you chew up your cash reserves, and then you're like floating this bill, that bill, and Memorial Day, poof, I can pay everything off and start to look forward and plan for the rest of the year. And
it's we're in a very unique situation here, being in tourism. You look at other places and we wonder, can they operate 8 months out of the year and survive 4 months shut down? It's amazing that if you think about it in the long run, if you budget properly, what you're going to have to do is you better plan for that April to November, and then the off season you better really be strict on what you spend, what you need. And with us being maintenance, you're able to base it upon time on the aircraft. So you know what you're going to be spending in the off season. So you set your goal and you work towards that, and anything past it, just picture it's not there and put it away.
It's economically, particularly for us here, I think it's going to be delayed. You're not,
Yeah, 2021 is going to be one telltale of everybody and who made it, who didn't. It can't get here fast enough. I don't think this area could withstand another shutdown to begin with. I understand health and safety's first, but
I know me personally, I can't take another year like this.
No, you rely on the international market just like we do.
Right.
And we got very, very lucky with the luck of the draw of having major populational cities right near us within about a 6-7 hour drive away. So I think people just had enough and hopped in the car and said, the hell with it. Let's go to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, and we definitely saw a change in pattern. I'm not sure if we had more regional guests or they were just more obvious because they were the only guests.
Yeah, we had a lot of repeat customers, which was good.
Right.
So
that's definitely a change. That I don't think you normally see in a given year.
Yeah.
We had Galen from Sightsee Rentals on the last show, and he mentioned someone from Rochester who came like 4 weeks in a row.
Yep.
And that's awesome. That's good to see. And that should be a little bit more normal. So that I hope we sustain that in the coming years.
Yeah,
Let's talk about your location and
Sure.
your hours and How's it work? How do we get a helicopter ride?
We're conveniently located right in downtown Niagara Falls, right beside the Rainbow Bridge on Main Street, directly across from the Wyndham Garden Hotel and right beside the old Howard Johnson's there. So you see the orange roof, you'll see a yellow or black and gold helicopter taking off every 8 to 10 minutes if we've got people. We're open, obviously seasonal, April to November, usually weekends or Friday through Monday in April and November, and then every day starting May 1st to October 31st. It's first come, first serve. Everyone knows our weather pending conditions can change at any minute here, especially some long extra weeks and winters that we've had. A few years ago, it felt like it rained every day until July. But we're weather dependent just due to safety conditions. So normally we're open 9 to about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and obviously we could fly till sunset. So it all depends on the crowd of people we get.
When do you get, what's like your rush hour?
Normally during the weekdays, I'd say between 9, 11:30, noonish. It's very easy to get on, maybe a 15, 20-minute wait. But as the day progresses, most people like to go do the May of the Mist right away, Cave of the Winds, and head over to us. So I'd say between 9 and 12:30, you're pretty good to get on. But after that, you're taking a gamble, no question. And
then, if people want more information, you have a website?
Oh, yeah, we social media, website, you name it. First off, we could start with the phone number at 716-284-2800. Our email address, info@rainbowair.inc.com. We've got our own Twitter page at Rainbow Air Inc. We've got an Instagram, Rainbow Air Inc. We got a Facebook page, Rainbow Air Inc. And our website is www.rainbowairinc.com. So good. No switches in there, just kept it simple.
Whatever your media is, you can find Rainbow Air on it. What does it bring to the guest experience? How is it different than like going on the observation platform or going up the Skyline Tower and looking at the falls?
Don't forget, you're seeing the falls from every possible angle without getting wet, without putting your foot in the water, and you're doing it safe as possible too, by the way. But you can't understand the majestic and the power of the American Falls, the Horseshoe Falls, and the Bridal Veil until you see it from above. Just all that water going over at once, and you ask yourself, how the hell is that damn thing not filled up yet? and people's faces when they get off is basically a telltale of holy cow, what did I just see? How do I put it into words? And after 25 years, I really can't pinpoint except the power, the majestic, and beauty.
Yeah. So, do you still ride the helicopter?
Oh God, yeah. It's
and every time you feel like, wow, right?
It doesn't get old. I can tell you that right now. When I'm up there doing social media pics, stuff like that, and it's a rush every time. It really is. It really is. It just. I joke and say, what the heck are you here for? To see water go over a cliff? Big deal. No, you're here to see some badass things, man.
Yeah. So one of the unique aspects I like, I've done it twice. The first time you guys were really great because I just bought my building and I wanted to get some more pictures of that. So, I kind of got a custom tour and I was focused on that. And then the second time, I did it more of a normal tour, so I look around. And the view of the falls is just, it's spectacular. It's beyond what the skyline gives you. But you get to see the whole gorge and get to see the whole upper river, and you can swivel your head and see Lake Erie, and I don't know if you
can see Ontario and
but
great clear day.
And the 2 reservoirs, and so you've seen where the water came from, and you've seen where it goes. The amount of that comprehensive view.
Oh yeah,
I also find totally amazing.
Yeah, it's.
And then how many people can go on the bird at once?
We could put up to 4 per trip.
Up to 4 visitors.
Yeah, 4 passengers and one pilot. But remember the first time I took you on, so I didn't have any noise complaints coming from you, so it was kind of a blackmail, and we'll put that on record. So
I haven't punched anyone in the face yet for but, there's a couple people in town that they bring it up all the time, like, what are you talking about? I never hear it. I really don't. I'm right. When you guys land, I'm right there. If I'm on my front porch, I hear you and I see you. That's why I have 1,000 pictures of your bird. Cause
Like
shots of other birds.
Like our brochure says, we have a quiet turbine engine, and I'm sticking by that.
Yeah. Now, there's plenty of other helicopters coming in and out. Like, if we went into my portfolio right now of like, anytime I take a picture of an aircraft, I stick that in a folder that says aircraft, and it's like 1,000 Rainbow Air. But there's 1,000 other individual aircraft that, just within the last few months just come flying around. I got like 20 different helicopters over the gorge. Unique ones, so I know they're not some company. They just send a tool over here. And so that certainly adds to the noise. It is a quiet bird. I mean, when you guys come in the morning, I don't even hear you. I mean, that's happened to me a lot because obviously I'm having my first cigarette in the morning when you guys are coming in. And, I start to, like Radar O'Reilly.
Yeah, we could technically.
You're almost right on top of me. As soon as I hear you, you're in visual range.
Yeah, we could technically open at 8 a.m. That's when the airspace does open, but just we want to give the people the benefit of the doubt. They drove through the night to at least give them till 9.
So I can't take my family of 5 in one trip.
Correct, yeah.
What about bringing stuff on board?
Just like the airlines, we have the same rules and regulations as they do. No food, no beverages. Bags have to stay behind. You could bring cameras, cell phones, no problem. Cigarette lighters not allowed, pocket knives, stuff like that. So we do reserve the right to search passengers before they get on. But majority of the time, we explain in our safety briefing what you're allowed and what you're not allowed. And majority of the time, or 100% of the time, as I should say, they do abide by it.
Yeah.
They definitely do. But some people, I understand, they have their passports, stuff like that. And if they're in the back and the bag's small enough and slides underneath, that's not an issue.
But optimal thing is show up with a camera.
Got to have that camera. You know what's weird, though, is you were talking about photography earlier, and I was talking about this with the customer because they actually had a physical camera with them and not a cell phone camera. And I would say 85 to 90% of the people that fly with us just say, no, I just got my cell phone. Can we use it? Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like the old school Zach Morris cell phones that overtake the plane's frequency and while they're landing, you can make a phone call from it.
Yeah, so your phone camera is just as good as.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. All the shots I have on Facebook and Twitter and that are from actually not just a regular iPhone.
Yeah, no.
So, but there are some people that you could tell when they're serious about it. They'll share photos with us, and I could see why they had that camera still.
Yeah.
You can't get that clarity from a cell phone with some of these telescopic lenses these people bring. It's unbelievable.
Let's kind of move into this cyclical season that we have and how that affects the local economy. You guys optimally have April, May, June, July, August, September, and October. So that's November. A good 7 months.
And November.
But how, out of those 7 months, how many of those 7 months would you call a good month?
Consistently from May until it used to be Labor Day, but now it seems like it's getting more consistent past Columbus Day.
What's your turnover like from season to season?
For crew?
Yeah.
I've been very lucky and blessed with these guys consistently for the longest employee we had. He's still there. I think this was his 11th summer. Or 11th season, I should say, not summer. But the hard part is getting these guys consistently 365, 24/7,
Yeah. How many employees you have? You have.
Prior to COVID, we were right on the border between 19 and 21, and basically you could call them full time during the season, but then they're laid off in the fall, late fall, and until early spring. But they're coming back. They're coming back year in and year out, so that's good for us because one, it's a repetitive job. It's you're opening doors, you're closing doors, you're locking them in, you're taking pics. You're fueling the aircraft. Nothing really changes on it, so that's a good thing. But two is you're outdoors. You're cooped up between now and March when the weather finally breaks in April, a couple days here and there. But these guys love it. They love being outside, and they're very, very loyal employees. They love to see the different types of people we get for different type of nationalities, and they get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
They think it's
I get a kicker, when you have your celebrities and you Twitter that out.
Those are fun, man. We missed them this year. I'm sorry?
Who's the most famous person you've flown?
In my eyes, oh, man. But no, you never know who's cruising in town. We had a Prince of Saudi Arabia one year. No idea. The guy just shows up in jogging pants and a ripped T-shirt. But yeah, Vince Neil's up there, Tim Tebow, and Miss Universe, who I don't know if he got married to her yet or not, but
she hasn't been returning my calls.
Yeah, sorry about that. By the way, she said stop calling.
Okay. Her and Angelina Jolie keep dodging.
I do have a funny story about one sports celebrity, Jack Eichel.
Okay.
Buffalo's guy. Him and Connor McDavid in the same draft. The year Buffalo hosted the not only the combine but the NHL draft itself, Jack was in a pickle, and I get a phone call at 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday from a 19-year-old kid who's just about to sign one of the biggest hockey contracts in history for not only just the Buffalo Sabres, but in the National Hockey League, period, like Patrick Kane type numbers. Yeah. You get a phone call, and you're putting around the house, and it's 7:30 in the morning. You're like, what the heck's this Boston number calling? So you pick up, hey, Pat, it's Jack Eichel, how are you? Oh, okay. Then I'm thinking to myself, this is a prank. Which one of my friends coded their number to call and say it's him?
Yeah.
I need you to do me a huge favor, man. Our limo guy can't make it. He double booked. I says, where are you? He goes, Arundicoy. I go, okay, can I have the address? So I quickly look it up. It's right near a farmer's field. And the other side is a bunch of condos, and then there's a lake right behind them. So I'm thinking to myself, this got to be a joke, but I'll go with it. So I go, yeah, we'll pick you up, no problem, whatever you need. You need a beach towel, something like that. Steve, looks like you're going to be on a boat for a bit. And he just laughed, no, I just need you to come get us and fly us back to Buffalo. I got to be there for a Q&A, and the Pagulas are expecting me. And between the contract signing and going over stuff with my agent, I'm going to have to, I got to get back. So as fast as possible. I said, just be ready, we'll be there. So not even like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, open up shop, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, I haven't heard anything yet. No jokes or pranks are coming through. Or you get a text message from his dad. Patty, can't thank you enough for helping Jackie out. I'm like, oh shit, that was real. So we went up, go in the farmer's field, pick him up. The pilot and I look at each other and say, no kidding. That's Jack Eichel. So, like I said, man, you never know what's going to happen when your phone rings.
So obviously that's a bit of a charter type deal.
Yes, we've got the capability for stuff like that. We have a certificate called a 135 certificate, which gives us right to open up shop, pick people up wherever with permission. Obviously, on private property, you do have to have a sign off.
Yeah.
But we have that capability, no problem. We flew Rusty Wallace to we picked him up at Pryor Aviation in Buffalo, flew him to Bradford for the Zippo factory, which is one of his sponsors, to do a autograph session. They wouldn't, the airport, Bradford Airport wouldn't let him fly his private jet there because they didn't have enough insurance to cover it if something were to happen. So they called us.
I mean, you guys promote yourself by just being visible as the only helicopter over Niagara Falls these days. But what can we do locally to, if not just Rainbow Air, but the tourist industry in general? Where are we failing as a community?
I have a feeling this year alone was where we push small business. We have Small Business Day, and that's predominant. I mean, it's out there on social media. It's out there. It's being shared. But I think this is the first year that we realize the importance of supporting your community, supporting your businesses, supporting local businesses around you, small mom and pop candy shops, restaurants, even if it's something as simple as takeout. This was the first year that you actually noticed that how important it really is to get out there and just show the key word, support.
Yeah.
And I think we failed for years, but luckily the tourists picked up that other end. But it took this natural disaster and this virus to kick our ass and say, hey, we need to do more than just wash your hands and wear a mask. We have to start thinking around our economy on the outside of what if, I know you and I talked about this at tourism meetings before. What if tourism's down? The bed tax isn't coming in.
Right.
What if
Coming in.
yep, sales tax. You got it. What's our backup plan?
Right.
We're
Property
here.
tax.
We're here. We're facing it right now. And,
right. And I mean, we're already the highest in America.
yeah,
Highest tax rate. I mean, people.
we should be jumping on this, meaning we as a city, knowing that the bridge is closed. And not to say that our customer base is naive, but they think Niagara Falls, Canada, Niagara Falls, USA are joined as one. It's just a different, mailing address in the end.
Right.
No, that's a different country.
Yep. No, I get that all the time.
So it's shut down, and they're here to see the falls. Well, now we have them. We don't know for how long. My guess is maybe another year or so.
I'm always shocked when I have a guest who booked 8 days. I think my record is
Wow.
a 13-day booking. I've had people stay longer in just unique circumstances where he's a poker guy, right? And so he's just touring the company. He sold his company in Florida, and he's just touring on his motorcycle and trying to, win some poker hands here and there with his casinos to make his trip easier, but he doesn't care. But he got here, and he kind of liked the casinos over in Canada, but didn't want to stay in Canada, so he was walking across the bridge every day, and he kept extending and extending. And it wasn't hard to keep him busy because he's playing poker. But like my 8 days and 7 days, 4 days, piece of cake. I keep you totally busy, particularly when the shuttle's running. But the other thing that the community is often saying, oh, we got to get people to stay longer.
Yeah, that's been a problem.
Yeah, but I think it's actually the wrong problem to focus on.
It's attractions you need to focus on. It's giving the customer base more.
Right.
We hear from our local officials that you need more attractions. You start small and then you work your way up. I think we're already at small. We need to go medium now. But what is the answer?
Well,
is the big question.
Here's my thing with that. We need people to stay longer. As an accommodation, yes, it's much easier for me if I have one guest who stayed 4 days.
Yeah.
But revenue-wise, it isn't much different if I have one guy stay 4 days or 4 people stay 1 day.
Yeah.
Public revenue-wise, it's exactly the same, right? It was the same bed tax. It was the same sales tax on that stay. Plus, your tourists spend, the longer they stay, the more they're kind of budgeting their daily spend. If you have, for the local economy, 4 guests who stay 1 day tend to spend a lot more than 1 guest who stayed 4 days in that same period. But the season length, that's where I think we're missing the boat. Like, in July, I don't want more guests because I'm full. In the normal July, I would have loved to have more guests this July, don't get me wrong. But in normal July, I'm just full all the time, and it's actually exasperating. I'm getting, Friday and Saturday is just off the chart. Not only I get like 20 phone calls prior when I was, it's July 27th, say it's a Saturday. Mm-hmm. From June 1st on, I'm getting a phone call a day for that weekend. Like, I'd like to stay, but it seems like you don't have anything. No, I don't. I'm already booked. Sorry. And then that weekend, there's people coming to the door, and you're getting your phone. It's 2 a.m. They're still calling. So we can't fit anymore. And that's why you see the parking revenue skyrockets then, too. They're staying in hotels in Buffalo and driving in. They're staying in hotels in Batavia, Rochester sometimes driving in.
Yep.
So we really can't fit them. But September, October, April, May, that's when we can fit them in. Our own hotels are empty. Our own restaurants are kind of struggling.
You're rolling. You want to roll it over. You want to, like roll over minutes in a commercial.
Yeah.
No, not like that.
Let's extend the season, not the stay length. Northern Hemisphere in general is just not traveling. There are a lot of niche groups. The leaves are changing. It's another great experience. It's a great reason to come here in October and a great reason to go up in Rainbow Air. To see that gorge, just a blaze of color. It's beautiful. Actually, from up there, you're seeing the entire county a blaze of color.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and people travel all over the, if there's one reason people travel in October, it's to go see that. Berkshires, I did it. I came back from Iraq in, what was that, '04, and it was the first thing I did. On my leave after combat, I just went to the Berkshires and just, stayed in a little posh bed and breakfast. They pick you up, we walk up a hill. They call it a mountain. It was really a hill. But you get top, you got a nice observation. They give you a little posh lunch meats, eat that, go back, and you do that for 4 days, 4 different hills. But it was beautiful, an experience, and that town, it was like their busiest season. I'm like, oh, you guys, like I've never heard of the Berkshires until I planned this trip, because that's just how sheltered I am. And we're like, how have you not heard of it?
Yeah,
I don't know, because I grew up in Leaves.
If I had to marry someone from Massachusetts, I wouldn't have known.
Right.
Got to drive right through it.
But yeah, like talking with the owners of the bed and breakfast, like, oh no, October's our busiest month. We're happy if we see someone in July.
Yeah.
I'm like, now that, and then years later, now I'm doing this. I'm back in Niagara Falls. I'm like, why don't we have that gig?
Right.
We could easily have that gig. They don't have a waterfall. We've got trees, and I would say the color's even better here. We got a more variety of species, so they're changing at different times, and there are a lot of different colors. I mean, over in the Berkshires, it was like 90% maple trees.
I know Travel Channel, National Geographic, they've been here in years past, and like I said, again, you don't know who's going to show up at your place of business or call your phone, and we need to get some fall foliage. No problem. Where are you going to take us? We'll take you here, here, and here. Can you extend it? Absolutely. They want to go up and down the gorge, and there's times where the whirlpool, believe it or not, is actually one of the best spots to catch those fiery red trees when they start. It's unbelievable, and the way that the sun hits it at a certain point of the day, it looks like it's on fire, and it's insane.
Fire.
And do we take it for granted? I would say yes, because now you look outside, you're like, oh damn, I missed the yellows. Those trees look like my hairline, gone. Yeah, it's great.
You've
gray
got
until May.
apples coming in, peaches coming in, so many harvests, and we have little festivals around the county, but what if, that's kind of my dream is next October, let's have the biggest Oktoberfest in North America.
From 3rd Street to Old Falls, just wrap it all the way around and
make
it work.
I want to see, put the beer tents and stuff down at the other end, so people are going from the hotels all the way up and back, and then you're promoting Whirlpool State Park. But have some tournaments. You can still play baseball, you can still play football, ultimate frisbee, bike races, running races.
You time the festivals out to according to when these people are going to be in their tournaments,
right,
in their attractions, on their tour buses, and
just gather up all those
you time it right. Yep.
Say, look, you already do this and you already travel to do it. Do it here. We got a waterfall. Let's have photo contests so we get some of the world's greatest, landscape photographers to come, plus all the amateurs.
Yeah.
Action photographers, because we're giving all these little tournaments. You can go take shots of that too. And just get all those niches here for the whole month. Munich. That's what they do, a whole month of just drinking beer. I think
we do a whole winter. What are you talking about?
Locally. You and me staring at each other. What do you think the years can be like that?
You get lost in your glass, man. I get lost in your glass.
Can't wait for the turkey trot. First sign of spring.
The old one.
First sign of winter. Now, how do I do that all the time? What's the big race in March?
Shamrock Run.
Shamrock.
The old First Ward in Buffalo.
Shamrock Run. That's the first sign of spring to me. Sometimes. Pat, thanks for coming in and chatting with us. And
I appreciate
good luck
it.
with the next season.
Thank you. Jeez. Same to you. I don't know how if we could withstand one more.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try figuring out how to sell photos. But
make a contest out of it.
We'll See you next time, guys.
Thank you.